Possible by those who have fought and continue to fight for the freedoms we enjoy. Let us now honor and respect their efforts and our country. So, ladies and gentlemen, please remove your hats. All veterans, we encourage you to render the appropriate salute. And everyone able, please stand at attention, placing your hands over your heart as we proudly sing our national anthem.
With that, welcome to Richmond High School. My name is Preston Trend. I'm here with Jason Robbins.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for having me here. So we've got our BWAC Wrestling Championship. Each year it's come down to week 9. Sorry, not week 9, the final week of the season. I'm thinking football. These two teams, seems like every year, undefeated coming into this duel. Last year, Algonac got the victory down in the swamp, and I know that loss did not sit well with the Devils. They were able to come back and win the outright BWAC championship by winning the BWAC tournament. So this year, same story, different location. Now we're here at Richmond High School. It is packed in here as we see our captains for both teams shaking hands, as well as our 2 referees for today. Usually big wrestling matches like this, you want to have 2 referees, because what we'll see is they'll take turns being the referee and what we call the AR, which is the ref that will shadow him, and they'll try to keep themselves 180 degrees apart. Looks for other things that the ref may not see, helps keep track of the clock, helps communicate with coaches if needed. So big dual meets, that's why you'll see 2 referees for this. So we pan over to the Algonac side. They are, like we said, 6-0 in league play coming into this match. They are ranked 3rd in the state. Our Blue Devils, also 6-0 in the league, and they come in ranked 5th in the state. So
this is a pretty big game coming into because this weekend's coming up is the BWAC tournament, right?
Correct, yeah. Both teams will be at different places tomorrow for tournaments, and then our BWAC championship, and then it gets into the state series. So this duel, starting at 157 pounds, random draw. First check-in was Mark Romanowski from Algonac, and he is wrestling Aiden Bergeon of Richmond. Aiden is a sophomore. And Romanowski looking for that Merkel, and yes, he is awarded 2. Bergeon trying to step over as they go out of bounds. So it's a unique position right there. It doesn't look like Romanowski's got control, but by rule that Merkel is a takedown, so it'll be 2-0 Algonac with 1:43 remaining in the first. So Romanowski in the top position, working a cross wrist ride.
Trying to get to the line out to the out of bounds area over there, but not.
Now he's got
not letting him go.
He's got a leg in. He's running that power half. Bergeon's got to do a good job. There it is, pinching down on that hand. And we can see he's using his feet trying to break that lock that Romanowski's got with his feet.
I can't imagine how exhausting it has to be down there.
It is. We call this leg riding because you're using the top wrestler's using his legs to ride the opponent. In high school, this was my bread and butter right here, Jason. This is where I did all my damage. So I know what guys felt like after being down there for quite a while. It is pretty exhausting. You're carrying that whole weight of your opponent. And it also, like we're seeing Romanowski, you're able to use your hips to create twist and torque and try to manipulate his hips. So Bergeron does a good job of getting out of bounds there. And I say that because you get out of bounds, you restart, and the leg is out. So it's one way of getting the legs out is to find that boundary.
Right.
So now you got to prevent it from going back in. Romanowski working for a wrist. Got about 15 seconds left here in the first. Leg back in now.
Still 2-0 for this match.
End of the first. Algonac will have choice. He'll defer. Richmond will choose neutral to start the second. So Coach Brandon Day must have saw something there in the matchup. There's Romanowski again with that slide by. He's going to look to Merkel again, and he does. Now he's not out of the woods yet. There it is. Got to get that leg out, get behind. And he's able to return Bergeron to the mat and keeping that tight cross wrist. That's another exhausting position to be there on the bottom, is that wrist down across your body. But Bergeron does a good job using his free elbow to help. He's using that to dig that wrist out.
That was another 2 points also.
Yes, so now our match score is 4-0 in our opening match of this BWAC Championship deciding duel.
Minute left in the second quarter, the second period. Been watching too much basketball.
Bergeron's got him in a crackdown position here.
Now what can he do to try and get out of this?
So the goal is to keep, and see Romanowski does a good job returning into his space, but in that position there, you try to get your hips turned back to the mat while keeping Romanowski sitting on the mat, and then you'll try to work your legs out. And again, just digging that leg and stretching here. Bergeron doing a good job not getting turned, but he's got to find a way to get out here. Got to get a point back. And I don't think it's going to happen this period as we go 3, 2, 1. So it'll be 4-0 going into the third period. Romanowski will have choice. And I believe he'll take bottom. Check that, he'll take top. I think Coach Ranger saw that. Romanowski's been pretty successful in the top position the first 2 periods, so elected to just get right back to it.
Oh, Bergeron almost had the reversal there too.
And that back down to the mat with that wrist.
Once again, Bergeron doing a really good job of staying on his belly, not getting flipped over.
He's using his feet as well to dig that leg out. He's got to work back to his base. Try to get back to that hands and knees position. Romanowski doing a good job keeping pressure on the head. I mean, you look at that, and if you're on your knees like that, stalling call. by our referee. Well, the wrestlers don't have ankle bands on, so we're going to have to check with what the stalling green, so point red, so that went to Algonac. There's some conversation between the scorekeeper and our referee. They're going to make sure they get that call right. So one of the things with wrestling is a position like this, you can have that point on the board. And then there it is, slop shoulder by Bergeon. Looking for that one. Now it'll be 5-2 Bergeon. He's in the advantage position. We got 30 seconds left. We're going to see if Coach Brandon Day elects to keep him on top and tries to work for a three-point near fall, or if they decide to cut him. And it looks like they're going to cut him, go to his feet, and work for takedowns. Bergeon in on that shot right away, and Romanowski does a great job there, smashing the hips into the body, taking him right back to the mat and getting the takedown of his own. Bergeon, though, fighting hard with that hand on the leg. He's not going to go quiet here.
And that's the end of this match.
Yep, so final score, 8-2. Romanowski will get the decision. So that'll put Algonac up 3-0. We've got, as we see Romanowski jog off, we've got some discussion going on with our referees, and I can't quite hear it. Probably about that stalling call, where they're going to award it to. It won't make a difference. If they flip it, it won't make a difference in this match. It'll still be a decision. It'll still, and they're resetting the scoreboard. It'll still be a decision, still go to Algonac. As we get a look at our next wrestler, and excuse me here, Jason, I got to check the weight classes. This is a first year. Michigan has gone to the what we call the Federation weights, which is the weights that weight classes most other states use. So we are at 165, and that is Gavin Frick who checked in for the Devils. And he'll be wrestling against Connor Hayden of Algonac. Frick in right away on a low single. And he is going to cover for two.
Good
Such
job.
an explosive athlete, Gavin Frick.
We came right out of the gate.
Yep. I got a chance to coach him a little bit last year. Extremely explosive athlete, extremely competitive. He's going to look for that low single again. Got his head caught underneath, though. Got to do a good job of here controlling hands. Hayden, however,
Out of bounds.
Looked like he was about to get him in a cement job, but finds the boundary. Frick in again. No leg this time. Head caught back underneath. Got to work to control hands.
Algonac just getting in there.
It's a tight grip. Yep, he's going to look for this near. Hayden's going to look for this near side cradle. Not there, so he takes his two.
Looks like he's trying to brace up.
Yeah, digging for a wing there. Frick doing a good job of keeping his base, working to his feet.
A lot of movement too.
Yes.
Trying to use the entire circle.
46 seconds here. Algonac leads 3-2 in this match, 3-0 overall. Frick right to his feet and is unable to get away. Maintains his base for a minute. Hayden working that deep, tight wrist. We're going to see a lot of that out of these Algonac kids. That comes right from their coach, Brian Ranger. That was his bread and butter in school, was that cross wrist ride. A whole lot of different things you can do out of it.
15 seconds left in the first period.
Frick doing a good job maintaining his base, working to get those hands back when Haddon catches them. As we go 3, 2, 1. So at the end of one, Connor Haddon of Algonac leads Gavin Frick 3-2. Algonac will have choice and choose down. So we'll see what Frick can do with his chance on top. Haddon up and out. Now Frick's dangerous here, Jason. We got to watch this. This underhook. He likes to go big.
Yeah, he's
Looking for an ankle pick out of it. It's in this over-under lat drop position. Haddon's got to be careful. Now his head's underneath.
Each one of them seems to get the advantage over the other just as soon as they able to try to get into something.
Yeah, they're kind of back and forth through those positions as they go out of bounds. Our referee, Brian Legree, signaling that there was action going out of bounds, so it doesn't warrant a stalling call by either wrestler. Nice snap by Frick. He's got to look to attack off of that. So now the score is 4-2 with Haddon's escape. He's in that front headlock position. Frick doing a good job maintaining his base. Got to control hands here. Haddon's going to look to scoot around behind. Frick doing a good job circling and facing. And there it is, Haddon with the takedown. Right there on the boundary too.
Right.
So we'll try to explain these out-of-bounds rules as well. And for non-wrestling people, it can be kind of confusing because you'll look at this and you'll see, well, his hand's out, right?
All four feet have to be out.
So it's 2 and 2. It's got to be 2 of mine, 2 of yours, or 1 and 1.
Gotcha.
Have to be out, and it's from the knee position. So that's why, like, where Frick's knee was out, but they still remained in. I mean, I coached wrestling for 8 years, and these rules still get me sometimes.
Right. I've been recording them for years, and I'm still learning.
Yeah. Haddon there with that, trying to run that chicken wing. Brian Legree, our referee, making sure it's legal. As time expires in the second. So, Connor Haddon of Algonac leads Gavin Frick 6-2. Frick will elect to wrestle on his feet, see if he can get back to that low single.
It's like this time Frick is backing off a little bit.
A little bit. You have to wonder, too, you know, third period in a match like this, you've exerted a lot of energy, trying to go big, a couple ankle picks, some explosive movements, and that really takes the wind out of you.
Trying to be more strategic, too, because obviously the rushing forward isn't working. And all you got to do is get 2 takedowns to at least tie this.
Yep. So they go out of bounds. Minute 32 remaining. Frick's got to find something here. He's down 4. 1 takedown's not going to do it. He's got time.
Yeah, less than a minute and a half left, so plenty of time for him to make a move.
Something big here would get 5. As he looks for a low single. Oh, and Haddon, beautiful
There he goes.
reshot.
Oh.
Beautiful reshot off of that. Now it's 8-2, so the differential is 6. Haddon's going to cut him, looking for the major decision. So for our non-wrestling fans, a major decision is worth 4 team points, and it's where a wrestler wins by 8 or more points. So Haddon's going to push the pace here, trying to open that differential up. It's currently 5. So he's going to need, and there's a stall call. So that one, our referee thought Frick was not working to improve. So Haddon's going to need 2 takedowns here, because you got to figure takedown will get you to 10-3. You cut him, or let him back up, 10-4. Then you get another takedown, it'll be 12-4. That'll be your differential of 8. And that could be the difference in a duel like this, working for a major over a regular decision. As Haddon's in on another deep shot.
Yep, there he goes again.
And yep, just like I said, he's going to try to cut Frick, but Frick does a nice job of getting right back in on that ankle. As we've got about 5 seconds left. So Frick did not score an escape, so Haddon wouldn't have been able to take him down there.
So that's just a regular decision then, right?
Correct. So final score, Connor Haddon beats Gavin Frick 10-3, so that'll be another decision. Algonac will now lead 6-0 after 2 matches.
Now, one thing I've noticed throughout the years is just how stacked Richmond usually is. They got someone for each and every weight class, but it looks like Algonac came right in here.
Algonac, they've got a solid squad top to bottom, too. It's going to be tough to find. There's teams you run into during the year where you know, okay, we can really take advantage here, or we can score a lot of points here, and there's other teams you run into and you're going to have your work cut out for them across 14 weights, and both of these teams are built like that. So we're at 175. This is Josh Kasner for Algonac, junior, and he's wrestling Lucas Peters, who is also a junior. Kasner in on that shot. Scores a quick takedown here. Kasner, I believe, was all state last year. One of those guys on the roster that you kind of put a little mark next to it and know, okay, this is one we got to buckle up for. So you got to think part of Lucas Peters' mindset is I got to save points against one of their better kids. And it's not stalling per se. That's one of the misconceptions people have about saving points is stalling. Saving points is trying to stay off of your back and try to minimize a tech or minimize a major down to a decision. And that's what Lucas Peters is going to look for here, while Kasner is going to look to push the pace, and he's got that cement job in deep, but out of bounds. And see, that's where that call would come in. If we had replay here,
right?
Kasner's knee was out of bounds, and we envision this circle of the mat, a big invisible cylinder going up. As soon as Kasner's knee crosses that cylinder with Peters all the way out, then they're out of bounds. So that's why we'll restart there. So fresh start for Lucas Peters. Working forward to get out of that cross wrist. Kasner looking for a tilt, looking for a turn. He's got that hammerlock across the back. It's a tough hold. It's called a hammerlock with that hand on the back. It's tough when the guy comes up to his knees. Did we get an escape there? Does not look like it. Kasner looks like he's trying to cut Peters. He's going to go optional start. Now my bet, he's going to come out front. Nope. All right. Typically, guys will just let him up and not worry about the old school optional start. That's a rule that got changed when I was in school. Kasner in deep on a high crotch and finishes it. He's up 4-1. He's looked for that cement job a couple times already in this match. Thinking he can muscle Peters over. Peters is set. Kasner elects to let him up. 23 seconds remaining in the first. Kasner leads 4-2.
15 seconds left in the first period.
As they go out of bounds.
Yep. Sorry, neutral again. He shoots.
Yep. Peters in that front headlock position.
Way to get his legs out like
went
that.
For a shuck and
wow.
missed it. Kasner gets a takedown there with 5 seconds left in the first.
And that's the end of the first.
So Kasner leads 6-2.
Kasner's looking a lot better. Well, is looking really good.
Yeah.
The way he's... that reversal with that last takedown.
Yeah, with the front headlock.
Yeah.
And that's something you got to watch if you're Peters with that shuck. We call that a free arm shuck. When you go to that side with the arms free, you got to make sure you either get over that or you control that arm as you come through, or things like that are going to happen. So Peters on top. Goes for the crotch lift. Kasner back up and Peters gets his arm caught. And Kasner over in that cement job position. And there's the fall.
Looks like he hit his head a little bit.
Wow.
That was...
quick turn of fate for that one. Looked like Peters had the mat return. Kasner caught that arm in a bad spot and was able to get the fall with the cement job. So that'll put Algonac up 12-0 after 3 matches here. This will send us to the 190 weight class. We talk about how Kasner is one of the better wrestlers for Algonac. Well, Richmond, this is one of their hammers. Eddie Olson, and it looks like he's going to receive a void from Algonac.
So that puts Blue Devils up 6 points for this.
Yep, so it'll be 6 points for the Devils. And a little bit of, and I don't have a weigh-in sheet in front of me to look at matchups and whatnot, but it looks like some strategy by Coach Ranger avoiding one of Richmond's better kids. Eddie was 4th in the state last year, or 3rd. No, he's 4th 2 years ago as a sophomore. One of the hammers in that Richmond lineup. So that'll bring us to 2:15. Richmond closes that gap to 6-12 in the team score. This is Brady St. John of Richmond, senior. He's wrestling Dan Ladd of Algonac.
St. John's, an illustrious group of kids that have been through here for a couple of years.
Yeah, yep. Yep, Brady was a regional qualifier last year, was a point away from making the state tournament. He was also a big part of, we mentioned earlier, Devils were able to win the BWAC championship by winning the BWAC tournament. Big part of that was last year at 189, Brady was double entered with Wesley Peters and made the finals with Wesley. So we were able to score a bunch of points there, and that helped be the difference in that tournament. So, St. John and Ladd locked in forehead to forehead. As Ladd circles back to the center of the mat.
Still no points in the match yet.
No points, nope. And our viewers are going to see too, as we get to these bigger, or these heavier weight matches, the pace of the match slows down. It's a lot more about positioning and pressure. I mean, you've got a lot of beef to move here, so you don't want to get yourself out of position. Make sure that when you're making an attempt for a takedown that you've got the pressure right. You've got him off balance. There's so much going on, and having worked with Coach Misko, who's a really, really good upper weight coach, and you can hear him yelling a little bit from the corner there. He's got a unique voice. Still hear it sometimes.
Not on the mat a single time that period.
But there's so much little games and little positioning and little things that go on during these 215 and heavyweight matches.
Right, their actions look a lot more deliberate at this weight class.
Yep. And then we're gonna wrestle this match. We're gonna wrestle 285, and then we're gonna go right to 106, where it's all gas.
Speedy.
All gas, no brakes. So St. John will elect for the down position to start the second. Ladd working that wrist, and again, another Algonac kid with a cross wrist. Call that a team tendency.
He's not able to get St. John fully locked, though. Back up on his feet.
John working, down. Yes. And a little hip heist action there. Creates and again, that's what we're talking about. Positioning. Working to get his hips out.
Neither one of them looking like they can take the advantage.
No, they're pretty similar positioning. They're both doing a great job with head positioning. Head positioning in these upper weight matches is key, because you get your head out of position, you can be in for a world of hurt. They're working towards the boundary. St. John trying to fight off that collar tie.
32 seconds left in the second period.
Again in that over tie, collar tie position. So Ladd's got what we call a collar tie. He's on Brady's collar, and when Brady grabs the back of Ladd's neck, it call that an over tie. As he snaps him there, oh, got his head out of position for a minute there. Wasn't able to capitalize.
Go out of bounds again. 3 seconds left to go in the second period with 1-0.
And it looks like we've got some blood. Looks like Ladd might have caught his nose on St. John's head there during one of those exchanges. Such an important part of wrestling here, too, is this management of blood. They get, I believe it's 5 minutes to get the blood stopped. And that's for the total cumulative for the match. So it looks like this one isn't too bad. Looks like they'll shove a nose plug up in there. Wipe up any blood that's on his body as we get a look at Brady St. John getting some coaching from Craig Penzine and Brandon Day. Coach Nick Berg out there cleaning up a little bit of blood. Nothing a Lysol wipe can't take care of.
Exactly.
I've seen some bad ones.
Oh, yeah.
Some bad ones where they call the paper towel in or can't get it to stop with a nose plug. You gotta get a little piece of tape, wrap it around the nose as Coach Day comes out to talk to Brady. Probably discussing something they see with those ties and what kind of attack Brady can get to out of there.
So if you were just looking at that match so far, you would think that both of them are playing so defensively, but they are being offensive.
These matches are tough too, because now, and Ladd doesn't elect to go down. He elects to go neutral. So that's an interesting call by Coach Ranger, because you would think in a 1-0 match you would want to go down and try to get that point and tie it up. But, and again, I don't know the strategy. I don't know what the mindset is here with the match or Ladd's skill set or whatnot. So I don't know if this is a matchup kind of thing, but we'll have to see how it plays out. Certainly a takedown would get them that 2-1 advantage, and then it all works out. St. John working in, physical with those hands.
Both of them just looking exhausted so far. I've noticed every third period, everyone looks pretty tired, and it's only it's only 2 minutes per period.
Correct. It's a 6-minute match, and you'd be surprised. And one of the things people don't always recognize with this is, running for 6 minutes isn't bad. Like that's, for most people, that's between 2/3 and a mile in terms of pace. Like, oh, that's not bad. But I mean, you think about a wrestling match, you're not only using your lungs, you're using all of those muscles in your body that need oxygen, so it goes quick. So like you said, you start to see a little bit of knees are a little more straight here as Ladd goes in for a shot. We're going to see if St. John can capitalize. He's got Ladd flat. He's got to try to break this grip. He's trying to keep those legs split so Ladd can't work to his knees. Our referee calls for a stalemate, meaning neither wrestler was improving. They'll elect to start them back on their feet. 10 seconds left here. Ladd's got to go for something. St. John's got to be careful. Don't get caught leaning. 2, 1. And St. John will come away with the 1-0 victory. So now, after losing the first 3 matches, Richmond's pulled within 3. So the match score is Algonac 12, Richmond 9. As we go to heavyweight, where we get a good look there at Matthew Mish, the big junior for Richmond. Matt also was a win away from making the state tournament last year, and I know that's, talking to him, that's motivated him for the entire season. Now this is a rematch of last year's dual meet as well. This is Drake, and I apologize, Drake, because I'm going to mispronounce, or Derek, excuse me. I'm going to mispronounce your last name, but I believe it's Masiag. And Masiag was able to get the better of Mish at that match in Algonac last year. And I remember that match. It was pretty heated. And that gym in Algonac's a little bit smaller. It's a little bit tighter. You know, everything's kind of amplified there, and that match was exciting. So I know Mish has had that match on his mind all year as we see him controlling position, moving Masiag around the mat. Now he's got to be careful, like we said earlier. You don't want to get caught off balance or out of position. He's got that underhook.
I'm really surprised neither one of them was able to capitalize on that.
So did we get a stall? Did I miss a stall call earlier? So we must not have had the referee Brian Legree in frame there. That was, so he went up with the fist for green and 1 point for red, meaning Masiag's second stalling call resulted in a point for Mish. Again, stalling's when the referee feels that one of the wrestlers is not really working to improve his position or working to score.
Deliberately trying to bring down the clock, right?
So now there's a call there, Jason, as we're talking stalling. Mish was dinged for stalling there. So, and I believe the rationale behind a call like that, and he showed the hands gesturing out, is that Mish is simply just trying to push Masiag out of the circle and not allow him to come back in, which is stalling. We can see Matthew Mish clearly in control of this match right now, but you never know. It's heavyweight. One guy gets out of position or this or that, and
that's it.
It can change quickly. 5 seconds left as they go out of bounds, and Masiag again gets dinged for stalling. So second one is 1 point. So if he gets called again for stalling, it'll be 2 points for Mish. So Mish will lead 2-0 on those stalling calls going into the second period. He'll defer. Masiag will choose top. And again, this is some of the strategy that goes into here with wrestling. Conventional wisdom would say, okay, you go down at heavyweight. Mish with a nice athletic Granby there, and is able to work it to his feet. The Coach Ranger saw something. It's got to be something in the strategy. Because yes, you're trying to you're wrestling this match, but you're also wrestling it within the context of a 14-match dual meet.
Right.
So Mish leads 3-0. About a minute and a half left here in the second. Richmond's got to look for bonus points here.
Right.
You gave up the fall at 175 to Kasner. You got to look to get some. You got some bonus back with the void to Eddie Olson, but Mish again is one of those guys on Richmond's lineup you put a little check mark next to, because you know he's tough. Got to find some bonus points here for the junior. He works for an underhook. Gets double unders. He's got it locked. He's got to be careful here. And they go to bounds, and Masiag digged for stalling again, so that's 2 points. Now, Jason, we've gone stalling warning, 1 point, 1 point, 2 points. If Masiag gets dinged for stalling again, he is disqualified, and it'll be 6 points for Richmond.
Whoa.
So Mish has to continue to work here. He's got 30 seconds left in the second period, so this match is about halfway over, and he cannot let up this pressure.
20 seconds left in the second.
Again, head position is key. Collar ties are key. Balance. Like both, now we're in an over-under position. Yep, that's a good call by referee Brian Legree. Action took the wrestlers out of bounds. No stalling there. We end the third.
So does the stalling reset per match, per period, or per match?
Nope. So it's cumulative across the. It's just for this match. So it doesn't reset with the period, but it will reset match to match. Massiag there with double unders, mission a double over position. Is able to get out of there. And obviously, in his height here is going to play a key. See him get underneath there? He's going to look to get that pressure. He's got him on his back. Misha's got Massiag on his back. He's got to. Oh! You got to keep that arm caught.
He just couldn't get those shoulders pinned down.
Yeah. So now you've got a minute and a half left. Misha's up 9-0. So he's got a major decision. Looks over to his coaches who are yelling to cut him. So Mish elects to let him up. He's got to look for those double unders again. That's his key. That's his ticket. He's either got to look. He's got to look for those double unders. Might get a stalling call here too if he can show referee Brian Legree that Massiag isn't trying to improve. He's got a minute. He's up 8. There's the Coach Misko voice. It usually amplifies around these heavyweight matches. Mish digging and working. The other thing you've got to keep in mind here with these heavyweight matches is the perspiration at this point in the match. And trying to get a grip on a guy.
Right.
It's tough.
I didn't even think of that at first.
It's tough because you're trying to grab and it's sweaty and you're trying to get a grip or trying to control something and you slip. As Mish works head to head, he's got to go here. 10 seconds. Digging. 2, and he's not going to have enough time.
He can't get it.
Oh.
Still get the decision, though.
Major decision here.
Oh, major. That's right, 8 points. I was thinking 10 for whatever.
So they get the bonus points, right? You'd like to have 6 there, but Richmond will take the 4 for the major. They now lead 13-12.
And then we're heading back to the lower weight classes, it looks like.
Yep, so now we're down to 106. This will be sophomore Joey Jarvis.
I'm really surprised with the big guys sometimes on how much handwork there is over actually being on the ground.
Yeah. And he's wrestling Sky Langowitz of Algonac. Sky was a state champion in the girls' state tournament last year. As she scores a takedown there quickly on Jarvis.
She has a huge height advantage on him, too.
Yes.
I know when normally, obviously right now we're on the ground, but she's able to get her limbs around him a lot easier, it looks like.
Mm-hmm. Working that crossface. That was something they added last year to the state tournament, was that girls division. So girls like Sky could elect to either compete at districts in the traditional MHSAA tournament, or they could elect to wrestle in the girls tournament. So at the state finals, they wrestled right alongside. And in the finals, they had 5 mats set up, 1 for each of the 4 divisions. And then the 5th mat in the middle was where they wrestled all of the girls' state finals matches. So it's one of those things that's steadily growing here in the state of Michigan as well.
I am always surprised at the amount of girls that actually do participate in wrestling. Mm-hmm. All throughout my career, I've been surprised when I see that.
Langowitz elects to let Jarvis up, so now it's 2-1 Algonac, or 2-1 Langowitz. Jarvis in on that shot, but it looks like Langowitz is going to use that length you mentioned. to get around and secure. Yep, there it is. Secure that takedown. So she'll build her lead to 4-1.
Good job of not letting yourself get turned onto on your back.
Ooh, she's got a cradle locked up there. Jarvis has got to be careful. He's got to get wide. Try to break this grip. And he does. Good job there by Joey Jarvis. The end of the first period here. Langowitz leads 4-1. She'll elect to go neutral.
So why is it sometimes when they elect to go neutral, they get a reversal point?
An escape point.
Escape point, yeah.
Yep. So I believe it was 2000. Well, as Jarvis is in on a shot, Langowitz scores. Opens that lead up to 6-1. So if Jarvis was to choose bottom and then Langowitz elected to go neutral, Jarvis would have gotten an escape point because he was down and then let him up. Where at the end of the period, she can choose to just go neutral instead of top or bottom.
Okay.
So, and she'll stay on her feet. Both wrestlers here battling for position, heavy on those heads.
1 minute left.
Langowitz in there on a deep low single. She's going to bring it up. Jarvis got to look to catch an arm there. Stay heavy. Staying heavy. 40 seconds left here in the second. Langowitz looking. She can get that arm through. She might be able to get a takedown. There it is. Jarvis has got to be careful here.
Yep.
Oh, he's got to be careful. Langowitz scoring near fall points. We're getting a near fall count. Jarvis got to get that arm through. Got to find a way to get that arm through. And there it is. Got that arm through, got his hips back square to the mat.
Good amount of near fall points, but still.
Yep, Langowitz will score the 3 near fall, opens the lead now to 11-2 as the second period ends. Jarvis's choice. His coaches will tell him to go neutral, and they'll tell him to watch out for that low single. Again, our dual scores. Richmond leads 13-12. Both wrestlers circling.
Yep, trying to find the advantage on each other, but can't. Oh, as soon as I speak,
yeah,
they go for it.
Langowitz with that snap, but Jarvis is able to get in on the leg. Gotta work to get to his knees here. Drive up with it. This guy doing a good job controlling ankles. And we get a stalemate.
1:06 left in the third.
Jarvis has got to look to try to get a takedown here, erase this major decision Langowitz currently has. In big dual meets like this, it's all about bonus points. A major versus a decision could be the difference. Jarvis hanging tough here, man. Being physical in there. We get a stoppage. Looks like Langowitz's headgear slid down into her face. We'll give her a chance to reset that. Get resecured.
Yeah, that head equipment looked like it was been loose all match.
Yep. That was my job with some of the younger kids, was showing them how to get their headgear on correctly. So you'd have those kids where their headgear would fall off religiously, and I'm like, let's fix this.
Right.
So Langwitz has got hers fixed. Jarvis in there with a nice underhook. See if he can use, and loses the underhook before he can use it.
Just as soon as he goes for a shot, she backs off and widens her stance to the point where he can't reach anything.
The time will run out here in our match at 106. So it'll be Sky Langowitz earning an 11-2 major decision over Joey Jarvis. That'll give the Muskrats the lead back. Should be 16-13.
There it is.
Yep.
You know, all the matches tonight, everyone's looked really top form. It's just that I didn't realize how good of a team Algonac was.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the part of the year, too, where you start to get everybody, all of that scheduling and your season and all your training builds to this end of the year. So we're at 113. That's Chris Campbell in on a shot for Algonac. Wrestling for Richmond is Kyson Nibby, the freshman. Battling Campbell in on that swing. Nibby with a nice whizzer. Working hard. Jason, he's got to keep his foot to the outside. Keep that pressure on Campbell's hands. Works him back to the mat. That is a nice whizzer. And they're out of bounds. So we reset. Back to the circle. Nibby being heavy with those hands. Looking for his shot. Kyson, one of those guys with a high motor.
Algonac being very defensive.
Campbell in again on that swing. Nibby with the whizzer.
Neither one of them able to take control yet, though.
No, Nibby is doing a great job here, being heavy with his hips, heavy with his hands on that whizzer. He's not letting Campbell scoot around behind. He's keeping his legs outside.
While also trying to wrap his leg around.
He's got to work to get those hips flat now. He's got to square up on this. He doesn't want to be here. We call this being at 3 o'clock. He wants to be at midnight. Wants to get their bodies in a line, like a clock. We've got to be careful there, too.
Oh,
and
there it
Campbell's
is.
finally able to get that leg up into the armpit and is able to finally get Nibby off balance, take him down. Campbell takes a 2-0 lead in this match. Nibby's got to be careful here.
Right near fall.
Late in the period.
That was close.
Oh, you got to be careful there, man. Less than 10 seconds left in the period, and he gives up 2 near fall. Nibby will defer. Campbell will take top. So there's something Coach Brian Ranger sees with this Richmond team where he's elected to take top in a couple of these matches. Bumps him back down to his shoulder. Campbell's got that crossface now, looking for a bundle.
Uh-oh.
Oh, and that's not. Nibby rolls it through.
Near fall points, though.
Near fall points awarded for Campbell. He's got that ball and chain going claw. Nibby's got to be careful.
Nope.
That's not the way you want to turn, kid. Try to fight through, get that arm through. Or work to peel that claw off. Campbell's got that deep. That is a deep claw. He's going to work to put all that pressure on that shoulder. Headlock finish that. Nibby.
And wow.
Ooh.
There it is.
There it is. There's the fall for Chris Campbell. Minute 48 left in the second. Chris Campbell will score the win by pin for Algonac. That'll open their lead up to 22-13 as we head to 120. So now wrestling for Richmond at 120 is senior Noah Harris. Again, we talk about hammers in a lineup, Jason. This is about as hammers-ish as you get for Richmond. 3-time All-State. And goes right after it.
Wow, these guys are quick.
His opponent for Algonac is Emmanuel Linkowitz. Harris with the takedown. He's got that cradle locked up. He's looking for bonus points here. You're one of the top guys in your lineup. You're returning All-State for your team. You got to be a guy that goes out there and gets bonus. He's going to look for this near side cradle. Gets that leg up there. He's going to go tight cradle. Got plenty of time.
There it is.
Got to get this tight. Got him on his back. Looking for a little more out of this right shoulder. There it is.
There it is.
So Harris with the fall. Minute 14 left in the first.
It's only 46 seconds in that for that match.
That's what Richmond needed to get themselves back in this dual meet. Cut that deficit back down to 3. So heading into 126, Algonac leads 22-19. This is Jacob Fink for Richmond. And he'll be wrestling Lucky Garton of Algonac. So this is another rematch, Jason, from last year's final league dual meet.
Who came out on top on that one?
That would have been Garton, won by fall last year down in the swamp. So fall late in the third. Fink's going to look to try to get things going early. Garton in on a deep shot. Fink working over the top. He's got to be careful. It looked to try to beat the shoulder. He's got to be careful here. Find himself in a near fall position. And bails out of it. So Garton gets a takedown and 2 near fall. He now leads 4-0.
That's still a good way to. That was still great to get out of that.
Yes.
Have it slightly different, it would have been the other way.
Fink working to get that wrist back. Knee slide, knee slide. Garton doing a good job now keeping the leg split. Going to look for what we call a Navy tilt. I don't know why. It's just what we've always called it.
I'm sure there's a reason for it.
There's something. Our non-wrestling fans here, Jason, will be like, what are they talking about? Navy and Chancery and lateral drop? But our wrestling fans will get it. So.
Right, right.
Oh, looks like we got a stoppage for some blood. And it looks like it's Fink's blood. A bit on his elbow. Get that cleaned up at the head table.
Now, how do these kids not have all kinds of like mat burns and stuff?
Oh, you get mat burn.
Yeah, I'm sure you do, but you would think that there would be a lot more.
And you'll see certain guys like Garton here wears a sleeve on his knee. That helps alleviate some of that mat burn.
Both teams looking in top form tonight. I know Algonac taking most of the wins so far, but still.
Yeah, I mean, Richmond comes into this duel, and I'd have to dig through some track wrestling results to see, but comes into this duel with not a great dual meet record because they've gone out and they've wrestled Detroit Catholic Central and Lowell and Rockford, and that helps build you to dual meets like this. So we're restarted here. Fink's in the down position. We got about 20 seconds remaining. Garton with a 4-0 lead, and Fink's able to get the late escape. So cuts that lead to 4-1. Garton is back in right away, but Fink fights it off. Now he's got an underhook. Got to look to use that. He's got a good head position. Garton, though, with a...
Ooh.
Yeah, looked like a little knee tap.
I don't think arms are meant to bend that way.
They find a way. They find a way. So end of the first. Garton leads 4-1 here at 126. He'll elect the down position. Some of our older wrestling fans here will notice, too, the state did away with the hair length regulations last year. See a lot more kids with long hair. I love it because the mullet's making a comeback.
Right.
Trying to convince my fiance to let me grow mine back out. I don't think that's going to work. Oh, Fink in on a shot. Garton with a chin rip. Oh, that is
no,
deep.
That
is deep. Fall. You're right on the boundary. Now he can pin him, and there it is. He can pin him if the shoulders are out of bounds right there because their knees were still in bounds. So Garton with the fall there. Fink was in deep on that shot and got caught. Oh,
that's got to be terrible. That's got to feel terrible.
That's a tough break. That opens the Algonac lead up to 28-19. As we head to 132, that is Brian Nickel, the junior for Richmond. His opponent will be Stephen Shannon of Algonac. I believe this is also a rematch from last year. This was the final match of the duel last year, with Nickel scoring a major decision but needing a fall to secure the duel. Had Shannon on his back there, too, at one point in the match and couldn't seal it. Looking to rewrite the script here as they go out of bounds. Minute 30 remaining in the first. Nickel with a good pass by. He's got to look to shoot off of that. He's looking to catch Shannon's feet out of position.
Catch him off guard.
Nickel controlling that hand, but
nope.
Shannon there with the shuck. He's able to score the takedown. He's got a leg in. Again, we see those leg riding. There's Nickel with the slop shoulder. Very good there. He's able to slop shoulder, get Shannon to slide right off onto the mat for the reversal. So let's see what Brian Nickel can do with his turn on top. Score's tied 2-2. We got about 30 seconds left here. Nickel puts a leg in of his own.
Algonac just trying to flatten out. I imagine it's probably hard in this position because you want to lay your feet out wide trying to...
And you'll see this hip here. Nickel's doing a great job putting a lot of torque on that hip. It's not a position for the faint of heart there.
No.
Puts a lot of stress on that back, on those shoulders, on those hips. So after a takedown by Shannon and a subsequent reversal by Nickel, we've got a tie match heading into the second. Brian Nickel will elect for the down position.
Pretty even match so far.
Shannon will elect to let Nickel up for the escape, so that's the one we're talking about there. So now to be 3-2, Nickel in the advantage. Front headlock position. Nickel controlling that wrist. He's got to circle the other way towards it. Shannon with the shot. Changes legs. Nickel's got to stay heavy here. Got to keep that head buried. Working to break that grip. Trying to knock him to a hip. Try to control an ankle. Got to keep working. Circling. Got Shannon's grip down to one arm. And we get a stalemate. So we'll restart. Both wrestlers in deep on shots and can't seem to finish.
Both of them, even each other tried. See right there, they're quick. They move out of the way. They dodge. Well, reset, try again.
Shannon in deep, shot from space. Brings it up into a Smith finish position. Nichols got it. He's working to control that arm. If he can control that, he's got a shot to get his hips out here.
Oh.
Don't want to be there.
No.
Don't want to be there.
No.
And Shannon with the takedown. That is a position you can get pinned out of. Both shoulders are flat.
And I was kind of wondering that because Algonac wasn't in control.
Correct. We call that a touch fall. When the guy's not in control and not in clear control and able to get the fall there. I've seen it happen.
19 seconds left in the second period.
Uh-oh. Got something going on with Shannon. Gestured towards the trash can for a second. So Nichols got to try to get one here. You don't want to finish a period on the bottom. A tripod up. Shannon with that good blanket ride. Nichols to his feet, got to break that grip, and he's back down to the mat.
Almost got the escape.
As the second period will end. So Steven Shannon leads here at 132 by a score of 4-3, and ooh, he does not look good. They'll start injury time as he goes towards the trash can, and we'll pan over here to Brian Nickel. He gets a splash of water and some coaching from his coach, Brett Berg.
Still looking very even overall.
Yeah, you know, a lot of these matches we're going to see coming up are going to be tight matches. This is where, you know, Richmond's kids are good and Algonac's kids are good, so we're going to see these tight matches, and that's what can be the difference in a duel, because you either get all the points for the match or you don't in terms of team score, so you got to win matches. Brian Nichols got to find a way here to get a point. It's going to be tough, too. Shannon's on the bottom. So Nichols got to look to turn him. He gets that boot in so easily. Breaks him down. You got to think that little splash of water gave him a little extra gas. We're going to see a little bit of pace here out of Brian Nickel.
Trying to maintain control, but they can't seem to flip him.
Yep, just trying to work. That's one of the things that's tough about a leg rider, too, because of the position your hips are in. You really, really got to work those shoulders. And Shannon doing a great job of keeping his elbows tight, keeping those shoulders square to the mat. Square to the mat. Nichols got to find something here. He's either got to look for a turn, he's got to give himself some time to let him up and try to take him back down. He's working. He's working. Looking for a Turk there, trying to rip Shannon's face over with his hip. Expose those shoulders. Near fall here would be huge for Richmond. As we get a stalemate. It looks like Nichols going to elect to go to his feet and try to go the takedown route here. He's gotten close. He's got to find a way to get through and get this takedown on Shannon. Scores 5-3 now. Got to get a takedown to tie it. You got to see some pace here. Got to have pace, but it's got to be smart.
Patient and look for your opening.
You got to clear those hands and create an opening.
That too.
Got to clear that hand. Shannon doing a great job with that collar tie, using that elbow to block Nickel on the shots. You know, the rule of thumb is you got to beat 3 things to score a takedown. You got to beat his head, you got to beat his hands, you got to beat his hips. And you got to beat this positioning by Shannon.
So wouldn't that technically be stalling?
It was stalling. So he just got called for stalling, but at this point in the matter, it doesn't. This point in the match, it doesn't matter. So Shannon will get the 5-3 decision over Brian Nickel. That'll open Algonac's lead up a little bit more. With 3 weight classes to go, they now lead 31-19. Richmond's got to sweep these last 3 weights to have a shot. They got to get a little bit of bonus. So another junior for Richmond here at 138. This is Connor Bergeron. And his opponent will be Alex Bright of Algonac. Again, Jason, another rematch of last year's duel.
Right.
It's like all these kids just decided they were going to go up to the same weight classes as each other.
But that's good to see. 2 very healthy programs.
Yes. Bergeron looking for a tip. Caught in that front headlock defense position. Bright called for an unsportsmanlike or an unnecessary roughness. It's like some hands to the face. So Bergeron will get on the board, 1-0 in this match. It's going to take a little more than that, though, here. Both wrestlers staying in good position. Bright in on a double leg. Bergeron jacks him up. Oh, almost into our scorers table.
That wouldn't have been any good. But
It's got a pad on it. They'll be fine.
I'm more worried about the scoreboard.
Oh. So they reset. 50 seconds left here in the first period. Bergeron with a beautiful ankle pick. Oh, that was nice. For the takedown.
Yep, got the takedown for it.
He's got to return him here. Got that arm in the armpit, or leg in the armpit, working the head. Bright doing a good job of keeping him at distance as they go out of bounds. So Bergeron will remain on top, 31 seconds remaining. Working for a wrist.
I've seen a couple of the wrestlers have symbols on their knee pads, and I can't tell if that's the company symbol, but I also want to say it's from a video game franchise, too. It looks like the Doomslayer from Doom.
Oh, yeah. So these knee pads, Bergeron's got a pitchfork on his. His is a couple of years old. You can see it's a little faded.
I mean, we got a big monitor here, but still, it's hard to see.
We've got about 10 seconds left here. Bergeron remains on top.
Bergeron is in control, 3-0, going into the second period.
Like I said, Richmond's got to look for bonus here. You're down 12. You've got 3 matches left. You've got to win all 3, and you've got to find 3 bonus points somewhere. So you got to have guys working for majors or guys working for techs or pins.
And most of the matches have been pretty low scoring. Testament to the skill of both teams.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you see. When you see a low-scoring dual meet, there's 84 points total in a dual meet. And when you see a point total close to that 84 when you combine both scores, that's a lot of falls. Now, that could be 2 teams going after each other and getting falls, but typically the really, really high-level dual meets, you'll see real low scoring. Our 2010 state championship we won, the final score was 24-23.
That is low. That's
Very low. a lot of 1-point matches. There was no pins, and there was 3 major decisions were the only bonus points. And that's kind of how some of these matches are rolling here. We got a 3-0 match right now between Bergeron and Bright.
Well, we've had a 1-0 match.
Yeah. We've had 1-0. We've had 5-3. I mean, 7-3 is still pretty tight. As Bright's in on a shot. Ooh. And Bergeron does a great job there. Caught me looking down at my score sheet, but does a great job of fighting off that deep double leg. Bright's been in twice now, deep with those double legs. Bergeron's got to be aware of that. You got to keep your knees bent. You got to keep your feet moving. Bright's in on a Russian. So we got 7 seconds left here in the second. What's he going to do with it? Bergeron does a great job of squaring up. Keeping great head position, Connor Bergeron is. So he's up 3-0 on Alex Bright. He'll elect to go down.
Not able to get the escape.
Now, a win here would secure the duel for Algonac. So we'll see how Alex Bright and Coach Ranger want to play this one. Bergeron working to fight off that cross wrist. Really got to work to his feet here. You don't want to play around here on the bottom and run the risk of giving up that near fall that could tie this match up. Bright gets a deep cross wrist, rolls through a tilt. Oh, a 1 count there for Bergeron as we see the flip-floppy hand from our referee, Brian Legree. Means that Bright did not have Bergeron for a full 2 count, so gets no near fall for it. Bergeron did a great job fighting through it. It looked like we got a stalling call on Bergeron and a point awarded. But I don't think he's been warned. I'm going to have to check with our scorekeeper. I don't think he's been warned yet, so that shouldn't be a point for Algonac. But that, of course, that's something that we can fix later.
Right.
I mean, Bright's got to look for something. A stalling point here isn't gonna erase a 3-0 deficit. He's got a hammerlock in. Bergeron's got to work to keep his hips turned away. He's running away from it. It's good. He's got a wing in there now. Bright's got to keep that legal. There it is. Thank you. Stop that. Had that arm turned. Kind of a precarious situation.
Right, that could have gotten really dangerous really quick.
Explaining it to Alex Bright why that call was stopped, or why that hold was stopped. Bergeron tries to get a burst there.
15 seconds left.
He's got to be careful. Bright's got that crossface on, looking for a cradle.
5 seconds. You just hold on to this. There you go.
And Connor Bergeron's able to fight off a couple near fall attempts and comes away with a 3-1. We're going to check on that point from Algonac. It's not going to make a difference either way. Bergeron's going to come away with the decision. So that brings Richmond up to 22-31. This will be senior Joey Polio. And he'll be wrestling, we're at 144, he'll be wrestling David Clemens of Algonac. Polio new to the Richmond wrestling squad this year after transferring in from Anchor Bay. Clemens, another one of those solid wrestlers for Algonac in the middle of their lineup. One of those guys you got to kind of keep on your radar as you go through it.
Seems like a good majority of Algonac there that you gotta have on the checklist.
Yeah, and I mean that's the hallmark of a solid team is, you know, there's not matches you can pencil in as easy W's. You're gonna fight with both of these teams. There's no easy wins. You're gonna fight and claw your way for every point.
I mean, both teams have been. I mean, we've only had one fall, right?
We've had one pin. Yep, two.
One pin, 2 pins. Yeah.
Had 2 pins.
It's been a very technical meet.
Yeah. So Polio's got to look for something bonus here. You're down 9. So Richmond again is going to need to win both of these matches and find 3 bonus points. Likely it would have to be a pin in either of these two. Clemens all over Polio's legs. Polio ding for stalling. He's got to look to do something offensive. Clemens is tough to score on. He's an interesting mix of strong and tall. It's hard. He's able to keep you away from his legs with his length and keep you from clearing his length with his strength.
Tried to fake him out there.
Good fake shots. Polio's got to clear that collar tie. You can't shoot through that, bud. You got to clear that. Clemens with a nice shuck on the boundary, but he ran out of real estate. 8 seconds left here in the first.
Once again, neither wrestler has the advantage.
Oh, no score. Ooh, Polio in a shot there at the end, but not enough time. Clemens will elect to go down, second period. To his feet. Polio's got to look to return. He's going to go crotch lift. And they go out of bounds.
They're doing that a lot this one.
Action carried them out of bounds.
They got the escape. Down to shoot.
Shot.
There.
Clemens in deep on that, and he's able to get Polio to the mat. So Clemens with the 3-0 advantage. He's going to let Polio up. So now scores 3-1. Clemens in the lead. He's doing a great job of just staying in position. There's that shot.
Oh, there he goes,
leg.
another takedown.
Yep, another takedown. Polio's got to find an answer for that single leg.
He does every time. He's gone for it. Well, I mean, we've had 2 times that he's gone for it and he's taking him down.
So they go out of bounds, 5-1. And Clemens will let him up. Clemens with the underhook. Polio looked fireman's tip. Wasn't there. Back to their feet. Again, Joey Polio's got to find something here. Richmond has to win this match in order to give themselves a shot in the final match to win this dual meet. David Clemens in deep again. Action takes them all the way onto the hardwood. As they reset. Clemens just staying in position, coming forward. Heavy with those snaps. Polio's got to find his shot, though. Clemens in again. Polio with the whizzer. He's got a short time here. Don't want to give this up. Yep. Clemens kicks that trail leg out. Opens his lead up to 7-2.
4 seconds left in the second.
Time. So Clemens will head into the third period with a 5-point lead.
When it comes down to it, 4-point lead because he let him up.
4 points, yes. There you go.
You know, in 2 minutes, a lot can happen.
Got him off balance.
Could have capitalized on that.
Attempts. Clemens right back in with that rush and into that double. Polio's got to find something of his offense he can get to. Gonna need a couple of them. I think we had that escape backwards. It's 8-3 Clemens. Polio's got to look for something big here.
There was a point added.
Oh, you know, it might have been a stall call.
I think it was a stall.
So 8-3 is where we sit. Minute 10 remaining. Polio's got to find something. He's got to get Clemens to his back. He's got to win this match. Richmond down 9 in the team score column. Polio gets to that knee, but it's just that length of Clemens is just too much for him. Clemens up 5 and still all over Polio. Not content to just sit back and rest on a 5-point lead is David Clemens.
Nope, he wants to go for the fall.
Again, back to that Russian. Stalling. Polio, 1 point Clemens. So now the lead is 6.
That's going to be a little bit harder to overcome.
It's going to be a little bit harder because it's going to involve a takedown and possibly multiple takedowns, near falls, and that's something that we haven't seen yet today on Clemens as he gets another single leg takedown. It's now 11-3 David Clemens.
15 seconds left.
And that's how it's going to wind down. 11-3 is our final here. David Clemens gets the win over Joey Polio. That gives Algonac 35, and that'll give them the dual meet win here. Final weight class, 150 pounds. Wyatt Peters checking in for Richmond. Algonac will void this one. No way they can lose. Peters will take 6 points for Richmond. Algonac will take the dual meet, 35-28. These two teams will meet up again. They'll meet at center of the mat to shake hands, say job well done.
So
and they likely could meet each other again in the team region.
So they do. That was an entertaining meet.
It was. It's tough, man. You get two solid squads like that, you're going to get just tight, tough matches. So, for Richmond TV, I'm Preston Trend.
I'm Jason Robbins.
We've appreciated having you today for today's broadcast. We hope to see you in the next one.
Thanks for joining us.